Hello, Onyxa here again, and this is my first speed build on YouTube. It's also my second video, and I was very, happy to be doing this. I couldn't wait to actually do this. I know I was thinking of doing more build tours, but I just couldn't, wait to do this one, and it helps. It kind of stops me from adding builds to an already large list of what I have to go through in all my tours, because I do want to tour literally every single build I've already done in The Sims 4 at some point. So there will be chunks of those going on this channel. Now, you can see me zooming through here with the main structure in one shot, actually. And that's mainly because I already knew what I was doing. Partially because I'd planned kind of how I was going to build it at the front and where the actual bowling lanes would be. But also because I started building this originally and then realised I wasn't recording. Bit of an oof moment, definitely. Mistake. I was like, oh no, my game bar isn't visible, because it comes up normally, the little recording thing on the screen, so it actually tells me that I'm recording, and I noticed it wasn't there, after a while of going through the initial, when I originally started building this. So I had to start again. But I didn't do that until the next day, because it was quite late when originally trying it. I couldn't wait. I built this because I wanted to have a bowling alley for a birthday party for one of my Sims in the file that I'm currently playing. Well, one of them anyway. And I might do a update video, even though it won't be updating you guys, just to showcase, more like a showcase actually, that's the right word, for the family that I'm actually mentioning here, which is the Barbie family, using Sims originally created by Deligracy, actually. Specifically Marge and George Roberts. I started the file with them as young adults, newly married, so Barbie didn't exist at that time. I'm also playing through those two alongside Barbie, or going to be, in Sims 3, although I haven't finished furnishing their house yet. That's something that's on the agenda for the umpteenth time. The amount of times I restart a file because I'm like, actually I want to play this differently, or I want to do this. But I am actually so excited because the birthday party I did in this build was for the youngest of Marge's children, Skipper. I've only got 3. I've got Barbie, then Chelsea's the middle one, and Skipper is the youngest. She was aging up from a child to a teen. I thought bowling would be quite fun, and I wanted to go for a really modern look, but also simple but not too modern. So this brick that I've used actually is really nice. It goes really well, and definitely like the contrast of the wood against the kind of like a bricky kind of tiling on the inside as well. It's very orange. You can see I've used quite a few packs already. We've got those Spa Day windows at the back panel, the City Living wooden flooring. Oh, and this was quite a fun thing, because I've done split leveling and sort of dug into the foundation for the bowling lanes, so I couldn't do a tactic that I'd used before, actually. In my first bowling alley build, I stuck a wall there and used archways, but I couldn't do that with the foundation because, well, with this level, because the foundation would still get in the way and still be there with an archway being used. So I thought it would be handy to size something up. The columns are Get Together as well. So not Get to Work, City Living and Get Together are the only two expansions I used. I only used one game pack, which was Spa Day. I tried limiting myself, so I thought definitely bowling night is essential, and fitness stuff for the wallpaper, for that nice brick tiling in the inside. They were the only packs I used in game. I do have a minute amount of CC, although it's all Maxis Match add-ons, so I used the windows are actually the in-game ones, but the tint has been removed. They're the City Living windows. The blue tint has been removed because I've got an add-on pack for the windows and doors from Peacemaker, who is my absolute favourite custom content creator on Tumblr. I will, of course, be linking the City Living set and also the other set of his in the description. Even though I've only used like 2 items from that specific set, I have used from the Bowling Night add-ons, the dining chairs and the table behind the bar, so you might want to move objects on before going into this actually as well, especially if you don't have those 2 custom sets. The items I've used are easily replaceable. The windows and doors shouldn't disappear and need replacing because they're the actual 3-tile ones that are included with the City Living pack. The only kind of custom modded aspect to them is the blue tint being gone, but I'm not quite sure about that. Might be something I have to test in future, actually, just to make sure, and then I can actually have more awareness of whether it will actually work that way or not. I can add that to my list, my mental list. And yeah, I started from downstairs where the lanes are, actually, so I thought it would be a good idea to get that out of the way. And yeah, this artwork, I thought using those to create like a pattern. I think I saw something similar in another speed build that I've watched, but can't quite remember what build it was or the creator of that build on YouTube. But I'm sure if you've watched loads more bowling alley builds or even a couple of others on the channel, you've probably come across these being used in a similar kind of way. Oh, and these rugs. I remember these rugs. Where I actually had to, these 2 at either end, actually, had to be replaced when I moved this, because I started building this in Newcrest on that waterfront area. and then I moved it to where I originally wanted it, in Oasis Springs, where the gym normally is. Oh, and there's the first cut. Quite noticeable, because it just goes from 6 to 3 bowling ball racks. There is a cut coming up that's even more noticeable, actually, because my laptop decided it needed charging, came out my game, and the recording software didn't stop recording because I used the built-in game bar that came with my laptop. And the screen went black for a while because it didn't automatically stop. Actually, the game bar didn't automatically stop recording. Unless the noticeable cut actually goes alongside part of where I was editing this reception desk area, because I did actually spend a while on it. Oh, I think that might be the cut now, actually. That was just a sudden movement of the angle. I tried not to move the camera actually too much, so that it was watchable at a fair amount of speed, actually. Purely because I didn't want it to go too fast, but I also wanted it to be less than half an hour, because I don't like the idea of having long videos unless it's like a massive build that I can justify that with. Oh yeah, I ended up using computers because the cash registers with Get to Work wouldn't have worked with this, considering I wasn't using anything else from Get to Work, and I didn't want to end up having another pack to include and require for this build, even though actually the easiest pack for you to need in terms of replacing items with this actually would also be Spa Day, to replace that wallpaper from Fitness Stuff in the tiling section, because that wallpaper is the only fitness item I use. The Get Together columns, they're the only Get Together item I actually use as well. And this, oh my gosh, I was going to use the infamous white shelf, the plain white shelf, because I wanted to get like a gate there, like I've tried before, to sort of symbolise how the staff members would get in. And I thought, I'll try it with a shelf, because I haven't actually, I know there's a tutorial for like invisible counters, and I haven't actually watched it yet, so that's something I need to watch for future reference, because I might be able to do that sort of thing in other builds that I do reception desks in. I thought I'd leave it quite simple. I was going for more of a modern but retro and a minimal vibe, if you can even have that mix. I was thinking retro because it's mid-century modern with Bowling Night, but I wanted it to be quite modern as well and simple. I wanted it to be family friendly, but also with all the colours, but so that you could actually enjoy going there and visiting the alley. Also love these lights, love the two-tone. And I'm just wondering when... I actually get pretty much most of this built and furnished. Minus the roof, obviously, because I did that after doing the rest of the build, actually. I did the roof last. Or did I do the landscaping last? I think I pretty much did the landscaping like straight after the roof, and then a few last minute bits like outside. But I did all of the inside furnishing, all of the interior furnishing, like before moving onto the roof. And it was pretty simple because it was like a one level. Oh, they're the end tables from the add-on pack, by the way. And I wanted to sort of have a lot of colour, but also didn't want to go too over the top. So I just went for the simple blue and orange look again, and it kind of ties in with the drinks cabinet things above. And oh yeah, I pulled that cabinet out display piece whilst looking for the trophy. And I went because I could never remember what categories like certain items are in. So I went through like everything. I probably searched it, or it might have been something else. Sometimes, if I know what things are called, I'll search them and be like, oh, it's there. But like other times, I will just be like looking, thinking, I'm sure it's here in this category, and it turns out that it's not. Or it is, and I scroll past it, which that also happens equally enough. Oh yeah, that second VIP bucket also disappears when I move this into Oasis Springs for some reason. And here we are, I just moved that. I like to line my lights up. You will notice I don't actually add toilet rolls when I do the toilets, which we'll get to that bit later actually as well, because I'm kind of doing the entire build and then I go into see what I need because I want it to be a bar in terms of the lot type. Also, I'm really loving the brown and yellow color combination on that city living light. It is so nice, goes really well with the retro theme, and I changed those two as well because I'm like, the white and red just isn't doing it for me. It kind of looks out of place and really random. More columns, detailing. And that display cabinet actually is a little bit sort of close to the light at the top. I do try sizing it down, and I'd convinced myself I had left it sized down, and then it turns out I hadn't. So if you want to size that down, you can. And here go the dining tables. Yeah, this is where I change it, and I realise I have nowhere to stick the toilets. So I moved them over here. I was like, I didn't really want to get rid of those windows, but I had to. And then, yeah, unused space comes in handy here, and random wall. Don't know what happened there. But I just, it's like, how are they going to access? And also, one of the wall-based items I pulled out earlier in the build from bowling night, I actually put over here because I really getting rid of those windows to put the toilets in, and they're gender neutral. Obviously, it's me. I like to make my toilets gender neutral. I think there's only a couple of builds I've done where I've actually done separate toilets, male and female. The majority of the toilet blocks I do are gender neutral, but also the majority of the toilets I do include the spa day. So I kind of strayed away from that this time by using the city living tiles and base game items. This bit would have been here. I was going to try and cut this out, but then I was like, no, I'm doing the toilets. Here we go, the classic spa day flooring, and then I realised, actually, I'll go for something different. But yeah, the black bits with all the unused areas, I was doing a tactic. I don't know if it was created by the Sim Supply, but I know I've seen it on his channel first. Out of all of the Sims YouTube channels I view, watch. I saw it on his first, and it blanks it out. And also, plain white door hype. I've used the plain black version of this one already in the house that the Barbie family live in, just to change them because it was the natural wooden swatch. Oh, here we go. This is where I'm replacing the rugs and stuff that moves. And they were placeholders because I saved and came back later on. Oh, lots of movement. What am I doing? Probably checking nothing else has deleted itself in the process of moving it to Oasis Springs, actually. I tend to do that a lot. And I also tend to just have a look occasionally, just scan over, see like, am I happy with what I'm doing here? Especially at the end as well, like, am I happy with what I've done? And, oh my gosh, these spotlights up the top, I know they're not even here. I have actually fixed that. Like, any alterations to this build, like toilet rolls, and evening things out, well, most things anyway, there's like those tables are okay because I justify that arrangement because it's windows and half wall based. And here's the dining chairs I used as well. Tried going mismatched. I know some people might be a little bit disappointed in me for doing a singular chair in white, and the rest of them are the other colours that were used. I don't know why I did the white chair, I don't know why I've kept it, but yeah, mismatched chairs, colour, perfect build for this. There's the white chair. I am also quite disappointed, actually, that there are no single tile tables in, like, dining tables in that style. But the majority of the action in this place is going to be happening down in the bowling lanes. Yes. I add a bin by the bar. I was like, I'll just put one. I was tempted to put one in the toilet as well, actually, because I was like, sometimes you get them in the toilets, but I wasn't utilizing the kind of toilet thing. You know, when you have the towel on like the cogs and it goes round, etc. It's in some toilets, like toilet paper, but sort of never-ending roll kind of thing, and it sort of loops back up into the contraption. There's one of those with I don't actually know what they're called, but I couldn't utilize those or the little soap dispenser that you can use in hospitals. Oh, and I was tempted to put a speaker in the toilets, and then I was like, actually, experience of doing that in one of my other builds, I end up getting Sims stood in the toilet because they're dancing to the music, and that's not quite appropriate. But here we are actually mostly done with the inside, actually. We have sped through, and oh my gosh, I go through so many different flooring types here as well, and actually change the stairs. I like the contrast between the dark wood, actually. I was going to think about using the light wood again, but inside to outside at the same time didn't look right here. This is some of the landscaping. I must do the landscaping before the roof. I couldn't quite remember. It's been like just over almost 2 weeks since I built this. I like spread it out over like the Monday and the Tuesday. It's been a while. I've like spread out all of the editing, like all of this, because, well, I say because I didn't want to do it all in one go. It was quite hard. I was actually quite busy in the second half of last week, and then trying to fit it in this week with going back to my volunteering and getting ready for the whole day. I'm really pushing it, actually. Really, really pushing it. Like, I literally go away tomorrow. Like, I'm traveling tomorrow. Like, I am taking advantage of the fact that my dad is at work in the morning. So we're not traveling until the evening so that I can upload this in the morning. Like, I'm not even going to export the video in the morning because I'm having to record on my phone again. I have a microphone on my headphones, but it's actually not that great. Like, I don't know whether it's my headphones or whether it's my laptop not picking up the sound. It just didn't pick it up that great. Like, the other night my friends could hear me on the Discord chat, but I don't know. I'm going to try and get myself like a desktop microphone, because when synchronizing it to my laptop through my headphones, I said headset, but it's not actually like a proper headset. Like, it's got one of those bumps in the wiring kind of thing, like a chunk, kind of like a volume. It's got like the volume, so you can change the volume through your headphones at the same time. Like, instead of having to change the volume on whatever you're listening to. But the microphone is also there. Like, tiniest thing ever. Literally the same sort of little. I like to think of it as a reset buttonhole, because it's the sort of size that you would have a reset button with, basically. And I also have one on my laptop which I actually have to get like right up close to if I want it to pick up anything, and I'm waiting till after this to try and get rid of my hiccups. Oh my gosh, they're going for it. Where was I? Oh yeah, microphone. So I'm like rambling, but I don't care. I am going to try and see if I can get a desktop microphone that's a USB connection. Oh wow. So I can probably get recording done like straight into the video rather than having to get it on my phone, transfer it over, and then convert the file, because my voice recorder on my phone, the format it saves it as is. Rather, I don't even know what the. I think it's 3GP. And it's a format I'd never actually heard of before. Because I heard of like WMA files for Windows Media Player, WAV, MP3, MP4, 3GP. This is a new extension to me. And I did like lots of technological stuff in school. So, although we didn't really cover file types for recordings, or audio, as it were. Right, screenshots. I did it in evening light. We're coming to the end of the video now. So I hope you'll enjoy this. My hiccups are going 10 to the dozen here. I will, of course, upload this to the gallery, link the custom content in the description, and I shall see you all next time.